Okay, guys, we are live here. It is time for your matchup previews for week 6. Got a hell of a week. Last week was a great week. More points scored than I can ever remember, unless you're Justin or Jared. You guys both had rough weeks again. But we're going to kick this thing off with the Battle of the Brothers. You got the King of the North versus Tony Jr. So my team versus Tony Jr.'s team. You got the battle of the two best QBs in fantasy, Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes. Yahoo has Lamar with the slight edge, and I'm going to have to agree with it. Lamar's slightly better for fantasy purposes. Tyreek Hill is going to pretty much eat up all of Mahomes' production. Terry McLaurin is going to just demolish the Chiefs secondary. Love Chase Claypool at home against Seattle, but he also has Deontay at home against Seattle. Not scared of Zeke at New England or Carson at Pitt. I think I have a massive running back advantage. Bold prediction from Tony's side of things. Chris Carson does not eclipse 6 fantasy points. 6. Not doing it. Bold prediction on my side. Zach Ertz is the highest scoring TE in this matchup. He outscores Kelsey this week. You heard it here first. Zach Ertz outscoring Kelsey. I have to give Tony some props here. He built a decent little team here. It's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. I think we've seen how this story ends. I'm going to get the W this week. That's how it's going to go. It'll probably be a good matchup, though. I think Tony's going to give me a bit of a fight. But as Heyman saw last week, putting up a good fight isn't good enough against the champ. So, on to what I'm labeling the slap fight of the week. We have Crybaby Joe Garbade versus Tony, everybody is out to get me Senior. And maybe Tony Senior's onto something here, because the only reason Reese would have done his god-awful trade with Joe is if he has a personal vendetta to go out and get Tony Senior. Just because you think the world's out to get you doesn't mean you're wrong necessarily. It looks like maybe old Kook Senior here was onto something, because Reese got absolutely bent over prison rape style by Joe. Joe just took him out in that trade. And now Joe gets to roll Damian Williams out against a downy soft Packers defense. I like Emmanuel Sanders this week. Over half of Joe's team's questionable. So my bold prediction here for Joe here is, and you knew I had to go here, TJ Hawkinson will finish under 5 points for the 4th week in a row. It was a nice dream while you had it, but this is a classic lesson in sell high. Hawkinson is useless. Absolute gutter dreck. Now, on to Senior's side of things. Aaron Rodgers at Chicago is a massive disadvantage to Tom Brady at Philly. Massive. DK Metcalf at Pitt. I don't love it with Geno Smith at QB. Marvin Jones, I don't love it because he's Marvin Jones. And everybody knows Amari Cooper sucks. So, not great matchups for Senior here. My bold prediction on his side of things is going to be the Indianapolis defense winds up being the number 1 defense in fantasy this week. I'm going to give Senior the dub off of a 20-plus point effort for the Indy D. I think they get in the end zone twice in this one. So there's my matchup preview for the oldest combined age of any fantasy matchup ever. Joe versus Senior in the Metamucil Bowl. Now, we have Viva Las Vegas, John Black Dick Vetri versus Beer Chug This, Safari John Heyman. So, Safari John rolling out Kirk Cousins at Carolina is bold, is very bold. Not quite as bold as rolling out Dak 25 attempts per game Prescott at New England. I don't love either of these QB situations. Adam Thielen is borderline usable. Borderline. I mean, he's kind of like the TJ Hawkinson of wide receivers. He had a huge week one, probably should have moved him. You didn't. Now you're stuck getting 4 points every week. Which, by the way, is about double what Hawkinson's averaging over the last 3 weeks. Really good thing you held on to him, Joe. Thanks for rejecting all my trade offers. Tyler Lockett, talk about another candidate for the Hawkinson Award here. 3 points, 2 points, 5 points the last 3 games. But that's okay. I'm sure it'll get much better now that Geno Smith is at quarterback. Ja'Marr Chase, what can we say, man? This guy's the second coming of Randy Moss. He's an absolute baller, and I take back all my criticism of the Bengals taking him. Ja'Marr Chase is a stud. Another rookie stud, Najee Harris at home against Seattle. He's going to dominate that game. Eckler at Baltimore, I don't know. Fuck Austin Eckler. I hate that guy. Hunter Henry, Dallas is not a great matchup. It's not terrible. If I were Safari John, I would go pick up Tyler Higbee and play him. He's a much better tight end and a much better matchup. So bold prediction time. I am going to say, I'm going to do a joint bold prediction for you two. Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins combined for less fantasy points than either Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, or Pat Mahomes on their own. Those 3 will outscore both of them combined. Sorry, guys, just the way it's going to go. On Vetri's side of things, pretty big edge at wide receiver with Adams, Lamb, and Sutton versus Thielen, Lockett, and Chase. Fournette could have a big game. I don't know how the hell you keep trotting out Miles Sanders with any sort of confidence at all. I mean, I'd be looking to trade Saquon for a usable running back. I wouldn't be trotting out Miles Sanders. Waller slowing down quite a bit since week 1. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. So I gave my joint bold prediction. My other bold prediction for this one, I'm going to go Cole Beasley gets under 4 receptions and under 40 yards. Look, I get it. He's playing Tennessee, but he's an afterthought in that offense now. That's just what it is. So Josh Allen is probably a Democrat, and he hates him because he's anti-vax. So there you go. Done deal. Who's going to win this game? The Battle of the Johns, the Battle of the Toilets. I'm going to say Vetri. Vetri gets it done as the underdog against the rookie, the upstart rookie, and Heyman's free fall will continue. Now, we have your deepest fantasy versus Bill O'Brien. So you got Jared versus Justin in arguably the most inept matchup in our league's history. I don't know what to say about you two that hasn't already been said about Afghanistan. I mean, these teams are rough. Now, you look at Kyler Murray, boy, Justin drafted him because he was the littlest quarterback in the league, and Justin identified with that. He was like a hero to Justin. He was his Tyrion Lannister. Well, Kyler already has a banged up shoulder again, and he's kind of been crap since week 2, which of course is not helping Nuke Hopkins, although Nuke Hopkins did have a solid game with 87 yards and a touchdown last week. Has not been blowing up like Nuke usually blows up. I do think this is a Chris Godwin game for the Bucs, though. So bold prediction. No, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Christian McCaffrey at home against Minnesota. Now, bold prediction. Christian McCaffrey is going to come back. He's going to be amazing. And he's going to get hurt on like about the 32nd touch of the game. He'll get hurt again. Why? Because this is what the Panthers do. They just keep getting him hurt over and over and over again, and they're going to keep doing it. I mean, McCaffrey should be sitting out another week or two. He won't. They'll play him. He'll get hurt. That's my bold prediction. And, dude, read the league message board. Stop playing Devin Singletary. Go get someone else. For the love of God, there's got to be something you can use. Tim Patrick, Mark Ingram, someone. You're just punting your flex spot every week. Now, Jared, Swift, Robinson, Gibson, Brown, Higgins, Allen, Herbert. I like what you did, Jared. This has got to be the best 0-5 team on paper in the history of football. So I'm going to say bold prediction because Jared's playing him, Justin Herbert sub 20 points this week because Jared's playing him. So who's going to win this matchup? I'm going to say Justin wins. And the reason I'm going to say that is because I'm trying to curse Justin into a loss. I want to see Jared pick up this dub. So I'm going to pick Justin for the win. Now, finally, we have the Breakfast Club, which is the gayest team name this side of Tony's awesome team that Tony kept for like 2 years, versus Jason Exotic. Now, we got Allen and Diggs in a blow-up spot at Tennessee. You already heard me reference Allen this week. He's going to have a big week. Tyler Boyd at Detroit, love it. Brandon Cooks at Indy, love it. Dalvin Cook, I'm a little worried about Dalvin, guys. You know, when Jason's sending out those trade offers for Dalvin, be careful because he is not healthy, gentlemen. Sorry, Jason. Had to do it. The people have to know the truth. So Joe Mixon is a total pile of dog shit. I don't know why anybody would ever want him on their team, but Jason does. So, I mean, he's playing Detroit. I guess that's the only good thing you can say. He's probably going to suck anyway because he's Joe Mixon. So, bold prediction here on Jason's side of things. Noah Fant has a fantastically shitty week. Under 4 points, Noah Fant. He does nothing. Noah Fant doesn't ball on anybody's team but mine. That's all there is to it. Now, you look at the Breakfast Club here, and again, horrible team name. The only thing worse than Reese's team name is that trade he did with Joe earlier this week where Joe just absolutely crushed him on the trade. I mean, I'm embarrassed for you, Reese. I mean, for God's sake, this is there's talk around the league that, you know, Joe is like some sort of relation to you, like he might be your dad or something. I mean, we don't know what happened here, but regardless, it's cute that you're pretending you're going to try to trot out Jalen Hurts. If you do trot him out, he should be fine. A.J. Brown, I don't see it, man. Just don't see it. And you already heard me say it's going to be a Chris Godwin game. I don't think Mike Evans has a great game in this one. Bold prediction for Reese this week. Derrick Henry has his worst game of the season to date. His worst game prior was week 1. He scored 7.7. I'm going to say Derrick Henry goes out there and scores under 7.7. I get how crazy that sounds, but this Bills team is going to get up by a lot quick, and also they're really good on defense. So that being said, I'm going to give the nod here, the dub, to Jason. Jason's going to take this thing down, even though he has the shittiest running back this side of Damian Harris in Joe Mixon. So there you go, gentlemen. There is your matchup preview. I will remind everybody it's Ramondre Stevenson's season, so don't forget about that. And if any of you have any fresh dog poop you picked up you want to offer to Joe for Hawkinson, it's out there. There you go. There's your matchup preview. Good luck to everybody except my opponent, Tony Jr.